Hi everyone. Today's our goal is parameters of projectile motion. Parameters means a measurable factor that describes the properties and behavior of a physical system. So these are the parameters: time of ascent, time of flight, maximum height, horizontal range. My dear children, already you know in one-dimensional motion, in one-dimensional vertical motion, if you throw a body with a velocity of 10 meter per second, so while it is going up its speed becomes 0. After reaching the maximum height its velocity becomes 0. So from ground to up to which its vertical velocity becomes 0, this much of time is called time of ascent. So while it is coming down from maximum height to ground, how much time it takes, that is called time of descent. That means, my dear children, suppose the time of ascent is 3 seconds, the time of descent is also 3 seconds. Why? Because here body is in uniformly accelerated motion. Because here acceleration due to gravity is constant. So then time of flight means already you know time of ascent plus time of descent, that is equal to 3 plus 3, that is equal to 6 seconds. 6 seconds. Similarly here also time of ascent means time taken for a projectile to reach the maximum height. Okay. And one more interesting thing, that is, suppose if you throw a projectile with a velocity of 10 meter per second. Look at the picture. If you throw a projectile with a velocity of 10 meter per second, and if you throw a projectile with a velocity of 20 meter per second, see here it will go only up to here, but see here, in which case the time of ascent is more. In second case, the time of ascent is more. That means if initial vertical velocity is greater, time of ascent is also greater. Similarly, time of flight is also greater. Similarly, maximum height is also greater. That's why the time of ascent, time of flight and maximum height depends on vertical component of velocity. Vertical component of velocity. Why? Because more is the vertical component of velocity, more is the time of ascent. So more is the time of ascent means time of flight is also more, and it reaches the maximum height. Clear children? So the first parameter is time of ascent. So what is time of ascent? The time taken to reach the maximum height is called time of ascent. If any object is projected with a velocity u making an angle theta with the horizontal. So here u is making an angle theta with this axis. So this is u cos theta, and perpendicular to this is u sin theta. Here after reaching the maximum height, it has horizontal component of velocity, that is u cos theta, but vertical component of velocity is equal to 0. Now at which the vertical component of velocity becomes zero, it reaches the maximum height. That means y coordinate is maximum. When the y coordinate is maximum, that is the maximum height. That means from here to here, how much time it takes, that is called time of ascent. So time taken to reach maximum height, that is a to b. A to b is called time of ascent. Already we know very well time of ascent depends on vertical component of velocity, and here we consider motion is considered in a y direction. Y direction. Then apply the equation of motion, that is first equation of motion, that is v is equal to u plus at. Here motion considered in a y direction, so vy uy ay. So vy is equal to 0. In the place of uy means nothing but the initial velocity along y direction, that is equal to u sin theta. Here u sin theta is taken as positive. So velocity in upward direction is taken as positive. Velocity in downward direction is taken as negative. Plus ay already you know very well whether the body is going up, whether the body is coming down. The acceleration is always directed towards the center of the head. That's why in the place of ay minus g, a time is nothing but a time of ascent. That is 0 is equal to u sin theta minus gta. So from this, if gta come this side, plus gta is equal to u sin theta. From this ta is equal to u sin theta by g. So this is the formula for time of ascent. Time of ascent means time taken to reach maximum height. That means A to B. So in short form, we can easily remember this one. Here u sin theta is nothing but initial vertical component of velocity. Simply in the place of u sin theta, you can write uy by g. So this is time of ascent. Next, my dear children, time of descent. Time of descent means time taken by the body to reach the ground from its maximum height is called its time of descent. That means look at the picture here B to C. So here B to C, how much time it takes? That is time of descent. That is time of descent. Already you know very well time of ascent is equal to time of descent. Why? Because here motion is under gravity. So time of descent is also equal to u sin theta by g. It is also equal to initial velocity in vertical direction, that is uy by g. So this is the time of descent formula. Next, my dear children, look at the picture. Time of flight. Time of flight means total time the projectile takes to reach the same horizontal plane of projection is called the time of flight. See here, Nana, here this point is A, this is B, and this is C. So here this is the plane of projection. Here this is the point of projection, and this is the plane of projection. From A to C, how much time it takes here? A to C, how much time it takes? That is time of flight. Simply time of flight is also nothing but time for which the projectile remains in air. Remains in air. Already we know very well from A to B, that is time of ascent. From B to C, that is time of descent. But use equation of motion to prove time of flight. So for this purpose, simply I am using when the y coordinates here A to C, from A to C, when the projectile reaches from A to C, what is the y coordinate value? So y coordinate value is 0. So when the y coordinate value is 0, how much time it takes? That is the time of flight. So use second equation of motion, that is s equal to ut plus half a t square. Here also time of flight, motion is considered in a y direction and motion is from A to C. So sy, uy, ay. Sy means nothing but y coordinate. Uy means already we know very well initial velocity along y direction, that is u sin theta. Here in the place of uy, u sin theta, and t, how much time? That is if y becomes 0, the time is capital T plus 1 by 2 in the place of ay, that is minus g. Here t is capital T, that is t square. So this is 0 is equal to u sin theta plus 1 by 2 minus g t square. Minus gt come this side, it becomes plus g t square, that is equal to 1 by 2 g capital T square is equal to u sin theta into t. So t gets cancelled. From this t is equal to 2u sin theta by g. So we can write this one in short form, that is 2. In the place of u sin theta, we can write uy by g. So this is the formula for time of flight. Time of flight. Suppose time of ascent is 3 seconds and time of descent is also 3 seconds. Then what is the value of time of flight? Time of flight is nothing but 3 seconds plus 3 seconds, that is equal to 6 seconds. If you know time of flight, then what is the time of ascent? Time of ascent is nothing but suppose time of flight is 6 seconds, means what is the value of time of ascent? That is equal to 3 seconds. That is nothing but time of ascent equal to 1 by 2 of time of flight. So that's why time of flight is nothing but time of ascent. That means A to B, it takes how much time? That is time of ascent. From B to C, it is time of descent. So time of flight means time of ascent plus time of descent. So already we know very well time of ascent equal to U sin theta by G. Time of descent equal to U sin theta by G. That is time of flight is equal to 2U sin theta by G. 2U sin theta by G. Next here, why is the time of flight double the time taken to reach the maximum height of projectile? Here from A to B, this is ground and it is maximum height. So from ground to maximum height, this time is called time of ascent. So why time of flight is equal to 2 times of time of ascent? Okay, why means we know very well. Observe here, this is due to symmetry of parabolic path from ground to maximum height. Observe this picture, and B to C from maximum height to ground also. This is symmetry or not? So due to the symmetry of parabolic path, time of flight is equal to time of ascent into 2 times. Into 2 times. Next here, maximum height of a projectile. So what is meant by maximum height of a projectile? The maximum vertical distance traveled by the projectile before its vertical component of velocity becomes 0 is called maximum height. We know very well at the topmost point, vertical component of velocity becomes 0. So when the vertical component of velocity is 0, the y coordinate is maximum. So this y coordinate is nothing but a maximum height. Maximum height. So along here maximum height is also considered in y direction. Y direction. So along y direction, the initial velocity is u sin theta. U sin theta, and here this is the maximum height. So initial velocity is u sin theta and final velocity Vy equal to 0, 0. Acceleration Ay equal to minus z, and this distance S is equal to h maximum or h. Here this is the initial position, this is the final position. If final position is above the initial position, then the displacement is taken as positive, so that is plus h. From third equation of motion, v square minus u square equal to 2as. So final velocity along y direction, y direction, y direction, y direction. Substitute all the values. 0 equal to, in the place of uy, u sin theta whole square. So u square sin square theta equal to minus 2gh, minus minus gets cancelled. If you substitute h equal to u square sin square theta by 2g. So in short form we can write this one simply u sin theta whole square by 2g, that is equal to uy whole square by 2g. So this is the maximum height of a projectile, that is equal to uy whole square by 2g. Clear children? Next horizontal range of a projectile. So what is meant by horizontal range of a projectile? This time motion considered in a x direction. X direction. So this point is point of projection A and here C. So this is the maximum horizontal distance. The maximum horizontal distance traveled by the projectile from the point of projection. See, this is a point of projection and this is the maximum horizontal distance. This maximum horizontal distance is called range. During the from A to C, how much time takes? This is nothing but a time of flight. Time of flight. Otherwise, when y coordinate equal to 0, the x coordinate is called range. During the time of flight, how much maximum horizontal distance traveled by the projectile, that is called horizontal range. This time the motion considered in x direction. So already we know very well along x direction what is the initial velocity? U cos theta. So initial velocity is u cos theta, and already we know very well along x direction means horizontal direction, the acceleration is equal to 0, ax equal to 0. This time the distance is equal to r, and time taken from A to C, the time taken is time of flight, that is capital D. Then use second equation of motion, s equal to ut plus half ad square. So this time the motion is considered in x direction. So in the place of sx, r is equal to ux u cos theta, in the place of t time of flight, plus in the place of ax, that is equal to 0. So from this, range is equal to u cos theta into time of flight. So please remember this formula, my dear children. This can be written as, here range is equal to u cos theta into t. Already you know very well, t means 2u sin theta by g. Substitute this value in the place of t, that is equal to u cos theta into 2u sin theta by g. From this we can write 2u into u square cos theta into sin theta by g. Already we know very well 2 sin theta cos theta is equal to sin 2 theta. That's why r equal to u square sin 2 theta by g. Here r is equal to, my dear children, u square by g to sin theta into cos theta. So we can write this one, my dear children. So from this write 2 here, 2 by g. So u cos theta into u sin theta. So please remember, for range, remember three formulas. One is r equal to u square by g sin 2 theta. Then write sin theta in terms of 2 sin theta and cos theta. So remember this, my dear children. Why? Because so whenever we are doing problems, we can use these three formulas. So we can write this one, r is equal to 2 by g. U cos theta means that is initial horizontal component of velocity. Then u sin theta means initial vertical component of velocity. So this is the formula for range in a short form. So please remember these three formulas. One is r equal to u square by g sin 2 theta. Another one r equal to 2 by g u cos theta into u sin theta. Another one r equal to 2 by g ux into uy. Okay children, next topic. So for a given value of projection velocity u, r is maximum when. So this is very important. When the range is maximum. When the range is maximum. So my dear children, already we know very well. So range is equal to u square by g sin 2 theta. So when the range is maximum, see when the range is maximum means if sin 2 theta is maximum, if sin 2 theta is maximum, range is maximum. When the sin 2 theta is maximum means sin 2 theta is equal to maximum means we know very well 2 theta should be equal to 90 degrees, because in sine the maximum value is at 90 degrees. So 2 theta equal 90 degrees. From this theta is equal to 45 degrees. So the range is maximum at 45 degrees. So the maximum horizontal range is at theta equal to 45 degrees. When theta is equal to 45 degrees, substitute here r is equal to u square by g sin 2 into 45. 2 into 45 means that is sin 90, sin 90 value 1. Then range is maximum at u square by, range is maximum, that is equal to u square by. So okay now look at the picture here. Suppose if you throw the projection with same velocity, suppose you making an angle of 30 degrees. Now this is the range. Suppose this point is A, this point is B, this point is C. So this is the range. Suppose if you throw with same velocity with 60 degrees, same initial projection is same 60 degrees. Now the range is here. So O to B. But if you throw the projectile with 45 degrees, see the range is here, O to C. So at 45 degrees, the range is maximum. The range is maximum. Okay dear. Next go to Next topic. Here, what's the difference between one dimension motion and a two dimension motion? So simply remember one dimension motion formulas, that is for time of ascent, you know very well, time of ascent in 1D, that is u by g. Next, time of flight, that is equal to 2u by g. Next one, maximum height equal to u square by 2g. So these are the formulas in one dimensional motion. Convert this one dimensional motion into two dimensional motion. Simply in the place of u, if you write u sine theta, then one dimensional motion is converted into two dimensional motion. Then write time of ascent is equal to, in the place of u, write u sine theta by g. Next, in the place of time of, in time of flight, in the place of u, write u sine theta by g. Next, third one, maximum height is equal to, in the place of u, write u sine theta whole square by 2. So this is a short trick. If you remember formulas in one dimensional motion, then put in the place of u sine theta, then it turns into two dimensional motion. Otherwise, remember in the place of u sine theta, remember uy. That means initial vertical component of velocity. So simply in the place of u sine theta, uy by g. Next, in the place of u sine theta, uy here whole square by g. So you have to remember range. For range, for say, write easy formula for range, that is 2 by g, right, u cos theta into u sin theta. So we can write this one 2 by g in the place of u cos theta ux, u sin theta uy. So these are the formulas in two dimensional motion, nothing but parameters. By these parameters we can study the motion of projectile motion. Let next here, so range, time of flight and maximum height. At what angle range is maximum? At what angle time of flight is maximum? At what angle maximum height is maximum? Say first write range formula. We know very well range is equal to, if you know the angle, write range formula, this one, u square by g sine 2 theta. Then you know very well time of flight is equal to 2u sine 2 theta by g. Maximum height is equal to u sin theta whole square by 2g. So when the range is maximum means if sin 2 theta is maximum, the range is maximum. Sin 2 theta is maximum means theta should be 45 degrees. So at theta is equal to 45 degrees, the range is maximum and it is equal to u square by g. Next, time of flight is maximum. When the time of flight is maximum means sin theta should be maximum. When the sin theta is maximum, when theta is equal to 90 degrees. When theta is equal to 90 degrees, time of flight is maximum. Then time of flight is equal to 2u by. So when the maximum height is maximum means if sin theta is maximum, the height attained by projectile is also maximum. So sin theta is equal to 90 degrees. So sin 90 1, then height is equal to u square by 2g. So we know very well, my dear children, when the height attained by the projectile is maximum in one dimensional motion. So this formula is nothing but one dimensional motion. So one dimensional motion means, so this is the point of projection. One dimensional means body moves along vertical direction. So when the vertical component of velocity is 0, so this is the maximum height. This is the maximum height in one dimensional motion. When the body reaches maximum height, its range becomes 0. So here also, when the range is here, this is the maximum range when theta is equal to 45 degrees. So when the range is minimum, when the range is minimum means there is x coordinate should be equal to 0. When the x coordinate should be equal to 0 means the body moves in a vertical direction. vertical direction. That means theta is equal to 90 degrees. When the angle is 90 degrees with the horizontal, the range is equal to 0. So at theta equal to 90 degrees, range is minimum. At theta equal to 45 degrees, range is maximum. Clear, children?